Hey y'all, it's Jan Shorte and I'm back again with another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 tips for creating an engaging social media presence. So why does that matter? Obviously because we have online businesses, and that means that we should be using social media. And if you have an online business and you're not using social media, then you are doing online business all wrong. So I have had my online boutique for a little over 4 years, and social media has played a huge role in my success. I've made multiple 6 figures literally from Instagram alone, not even including Facebook, not including TikTok, not including whatever other platforms exist out there. Instagram alone has made me over $200,000. And in today's video, I want to share 3 tips with you for creating an engaging social media presence for your own online boutique. So let's start with tip number 1. Welcome to my channel where we talk about boutiques, e-commerce, business, and all things making money online. Okay, so tip number 1 is create compelling visuals and good product photography. Now, obviously, as online boutiques, our job is to sell products. However, that doesn't mean that you get to just put on a dress and photograph it wherever you like. I hate seeing pictures on the side of your house or in front of your kitchen door or in your bathroom with towels hanging in the background. Like, I don't know, child. I have seen the craziest of things, and then people complain about not being able to make sales. The thing that you want to remember is that your job is to serve people first and foremost and make them want to purchase your products. In order to do that, you have to make sure that you are creating content with them in mind, not with your own personal preferences in mind or with your current setting in mind. This means that you have to make sure that the photos that you take are photographed in a way that will be compelling and visually appealing to the people that you want to purchase from you. So to give you an example, let's say that you utilize lifestyle content. Lifestyle content does not mean that it has to be your lifestyle. To give you an even deeper example here, I personally love lavish things. I love a nice 5-star hotel. I love designer things. I love things that cost money, okay? But my online business serves like regular people who have kids, who have regular jobs, who have maybe not a ton of money. They're not spending a ton of money on like designer things and lavish trips and things of that nature. So if all of my content conveyed my own personal lifestyle, while it may attract someone, it is not going to attract the people that my business was designed to serve. And so I don't infuse my own life into my content, but I do infuse lifestyle content that I think my target audience will relate to. Because I sell loungewear, I make sure that I take pictures that are around the house doing things that homebodies would do, because my business is created to serve homebodies. So I'm sitting on the couch, I'm in the kitchen, I'm lounging around, I'm sitting in the bed, I'm doing like regular human being things versus me, you know, living this oh so lavish life. So a part of creating compelling visuals is making sure that you know who you are creating that content for in the first place, and making sure that you photograph your products in settings and in lighting and just in general in a way that will appeal to them. When they see it, they should immediately be able to place themselves in that circumstance and say, oh, this product was created for me because it was photographed in a way that I would photograph it myself. Like when you take a selfie, where would you take the selfie? Where would she take the selfie? That's what you want to think about. So that's tip number 1. Now let's move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to create engaging captions and to utilize hashtags. So obviously every post has the ability to add a caption, and you also have the ability to add hashtags, but the two work totally different. The point of a caption is to obviously add context to the visuals that people see, and the point of a hashtag is to help your content to become discoverable. It also helps to categorize your content. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see is just not utilizing them at all. They leave the caption area completely empty, and they don't use hashtags at all. Hashtags are super helpful to brand new businesses because obviously one of your biggest goals in that period of time is to be discovered by your target audience. So just like with your content, you want to make sure that your captions are written in a way that would appeal to your target audience. And you also want to make sure that your hashtags make sense for what you sell and who you want to discover your content. So to give you an example, Sometimes I see online boutique owners use hashtags that really aren't relevant to what they do, what they sell, or who they serve. They'll use hashtags like hair extensions, and it's like, do you sell hair extensions? If someone types into the search bar in Instagram hashtag hair extensions, obviously that person is expecting to find hair extensions. They are looking for hair extensions. So when they land on that page, that explore page, and they see all this content with hair extensions, and they see your random picture of you wearing your cute little sequin dress, they're gonna scroll past that because they weren't looking for a sequin dress, they were looking for hair extensions. And although it's gonna stand out, it's also not going to matter to them in that circumstance. So make sure that you are utilizing hashtags that are relevant to what you are attempting to sell. And you also don't want to make them too generalized. So instead of using hashtag dress, use hashtag sequin dress, something that's a little bit more tied to what exactly you are selling. And then as far as your captions are concerned, don't feel like you have to make them overly short, but also don't feel like you have to make them overly long. The beauty of a caption is that you can say whatever you want to say, but you want to make sure that it ties back to what you want people to do. So make sure that it has a call to action, click this link, comment below, tag someone, but you also want to give them a little bit more context as to what it is that they're looking at, because this is a great place for you to start differentiating your brand or differentiating the product that you're trying to sell from other brands that may be selling the same thing. So tip number 2 is to create engaging captions and to utilize hashtags with your content. Now let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to build a consistent posting schedule and to engage with your audience. So it's not enough to just post and then let's say you do attract the audience that you want. If you got all these people commenting or asking questions and things like that, you want to make sure that you respond. You want to make sure that you engage back with them. I see people, boutique owners, always say like, don't DM us. We don't respond to DMs. Don't send us questions in the DMs. Like, as a new business owner, you should not be sending people away from the platform. You should be utilizing what's right in front of you and engaging with them so that hopefully they make the decision to support your business as quickly as possible versus you creating this like diversion and potentially leading them away from what they were interested in the first place. So let's first and foremost talk about creating or building a consistent posting schedule. Consistency is key. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that will tell you need to post a certain number of times a day or at certain times of the day. In all honesty, it's totally up to you to decide what consistency looks like for you. What I want you to think about is what you get from your definition of consistent. So for me personally, some days I want to post 5 times in a day because every time I post it, I got something out of it, whether that be engagement, whether that be purchases, whether that be new followers. If I can see that I'm meeting my goals or that my content is working in a way that maybe it doesn't typically work in that day, I'm gonna like maximize on that content. There's no need to give myself this stipulation of posting only a certain number of times simply because somebody else said that I should do so. But let's say that you decide that you only want to post 3 times a week, or let's say 1 time per day. What you want to know or understand is that what you get from 1 time per day is what you get from 1 time per day. So when you start to, let's say, complain about your followers not growing very much, or your engagement lacking, or your content just generally speaking not performing very well, a beautiful part of social media is that it's free and you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and as many times as you want on that platform. So don't limit yourself to the belief that there is a right or wrong number of times or a right or wrong time of the day until you have data to support those decisions. So I would say set a schedule for yourself that is doable, but also make sure that the content that you're putting out is, going back to our first point, compelling, and that it would actually attract the audience that you want. I want to give you guys an example of a brand that is really good at not only posting consistently, but also consistently creating compelling and visually appealing content. So that brand is Lily's Closet, and I'll attach a little screenshot somewhere on the screen here for you guys to see them. Definitely check them out on Instagram. I love their content because not only is it consistent, it's also extremely engaging. It's very visually appealing, and it kind of makes you want to stop in your tracks and either interact with their content or answer their questions or whatever. Share it, comment, like it, buy it, whatever. It really does make you want to do something. So not only do they have a consistent posting schedule, they also are consistent in the type of content that they post. So for example, they always do these posts where it's 3 different models, or the model wearing 3 different outfits, and then they ask in the caption, which one is your favorite, or which one would you wear to a wedding, or which one would you wear to a birthday party. This is something that they consistently do, and it's also something that we can all consistently implement into our own brands. So this is not saying you got to sell the same thing or anything like that, but more so like the methodology of what they're doing is something that we can all consistently implement into our business. So you want to not only create a schedule, but you also want to clarify what you can consistently do that will be visually appealing and compelling to your audience. And then the last point is just getting people to engage with you. Engagement is not a super easy thing to get. And if I'm being honest, I don't actually care if anybody comments on my post. I would much rather you click the link in my bio and go to my website. But speaking of engagement, Instagram has so many different tools that we can use to hopefully get engagement, whether that be a like or a comment, whether it be someone voting on a poll, whether it be someone putting an answer to a question in the question box in your stories. We have all of these different tools on the platform that we can use to just get people to respond in some way. So decide how you want people to respond, and then test all of the different options of engagement tools that Instagram provides to you. So those are our 3 tips, and let's sum this thing up, okay? Okay, so to sum this up, our 3 tips are: create compelling visuals and engaging content. Number 2, use captions and hashtags. And number 3, create a consistent posting schedule and engage with your audience. So if you need help with your social media, whether that be just figuring out what to post or creating a schedule, go ahead and click the link in the description. I have a free guide for you to help you to create a social media calendar. And if you want some actual visuals and tutorials for how to improve your content, join my membership, where we have probably 5 different lessons specifically about social media, where I show you not only how I have used social media to grow my business, but also tips and tools that you can use to grow your social media as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.